But Ben, the other kind of star player for Man City, and if they do go on and win the league title this season, I think he's going to be in the running for Young Player of the Year. Nico O'Reilly, obviously, on Transfermarkt, his market value has gone up by €32 million this season, which is second only to Nick Vultemada and Antoine Semenyo, whose market values have been predominantly increased due to the transfer fee paid. So you could argue that O'Reilly is the one who's had the most natural market value increase due to his potential and talent. What have you made of him this season? Interestingly enough, if you take a look at where he ranks with other left-backs in the world, there's only three above him. There's Alejandro Baldi at Barcelona, there's Alvaro Carreras at Real Madrid, and then Nuno Mendes at PSG. He's the most viable left-back in the world at €75 million. Do we think we could be looking at potentially the best or perhaps most viable left-back in the world if Nico O'Reilly can continue these performances in 2026?
Yeah, he's a tough one to decide because we ultimately don't know what position he'll end up as well, because he's played a run of games in midfield this season as well, and obviously naturally midfielders are usually worth more than left backs in the modern game. He's likely to go up again at the end of the season, of course, for what he's doing at the moment, and I mean Vultemada will probably go down. Somenio maybe go up slightly, but he probably will go up the most out of all Premier League players at the start of the season because the impact he's had has been absolutely fantastic. And yeah, ultimately we need to find out where his position is going to be, whether it's going to be left back or in left midfield or sort of the left side of the midfield. But yeah, he's been fantastic, and to do what he's doing in the big games, I mean, 2 goals in the League Cup final to win it yesterday, again fantastic, involved in the winning goal, which could be the title winning goal. For such a young player, looks very, very unfazed, a bit like Ryan Cherki. And Cherki, I think it will certainly be one of the biggest winners from the upcoming update in June. There was the reason he's currently at €65 million. The reason he's not higher is because the fee was only 36 at the start of the season, and at the start of the season he was in and out of the team, had a couple of injuries, even though he was playing well when he is playing. Now he is starting games and he is deciding games. I mean, the goal, Arsenal, as we've said, have got one of the best defences in the world, and he just walks through 6 or 7 players and puts it in. He was fantastic in the cup final, doing keepy ups, taking the mick a little bit there, which Pep didn't like, but I think he's in line to probably be one of the biggest winners, if not the biggest winner from the upcoming update.
Yeah, for sure. It'll be interesting to see if Pep can kind of pull the reins down on him, like he has done with other kind of exciting wingers in the past, or if he'll be able to kind of fight against it. But Joe, yeah, just going back on O'Reilly, I'm just intrigued at the fact that for so long Pep maybe struggled with the fullback position. We saw this kind of trend of playing centre backs at left back and right back. Obviously, Guardiola's the most obvious example of that, which was, I think Guardiola's a great player, but the idea of playing centre backs at fullback was something that really bothered me because I found it very boring. But suddenly they've got this exciting, gifted, exceptionally attacking player playing at the fullback position. As Ben says, maybe not forever. He might move into midfield. He looks like he could play number 10 the way he's been playing right now, but he's added a whole other kind of dimension to that Man City team this season, hasn't he?
Definitely, and I think it would almost be wasted to play O'Reilly at left back, because look at his goals and assists this season. You wouldn't find many other fullbacks or players of that kind of ilk with those returns for City. And certainly the kind of sort of elegance he brings to the midfield, if we're talking about Rodri potentially leaving the summer, Bernardo's obviously already said he's going to be departing. So, I don't think Pep would want to lose that kind of continuity he's got at the moment in the midfield. It really does depend on who City get in the summer. We've seen Elliot Anderson be linked with them, but certainly I think in terms of, you're talking about obviously the fullbacks. They've obviously got Ryan Aït-Nouri there, who I think has been okay in his first season. Being established at Wolves. It's certainly quite interesting to see how Guardiola's recruiting kind of changed over the years. He's now looking for players with proven Premier League experience, and I think you can see that sort of impact on the squad this season in terms of players who can just come in and do a job. That's what you get with O'Reilly. You can play him at left back. You can play him up front. I think he'd still do a decent job because of his, aerial ability, but also the way he links up with players around him. So, for me, O'Reilly has to be not only in the England squad this summer, but definitely, I would say, competing for one of the starting places. Left back is one of those positions. Yeah, I think City have got a fantastic player there, 21 years old. The sky's the limit for him for how far he can go.